Last week on the Personal Growth Podcast, Dwayne and Eric sat down with Anthony D. Herrera and discussed a multitude of topics, including drug court, personal fitness, and personal growth.
And stoicism.
Today we're in the studio with AA Aaron Anderson. Welcome to episode 19, the Personal Growth Podcast.
Mr. Anderson. I just felt like it because of the Matrix.
I love it. I hear it a lot.
Yeah. And I never realized that was your last name. And I've run your credit card 100 times, and it didn't click that your last name was Anderson. And we're friends on Instagram and Facebook. What an asshole.
Yeah.
How did I never say, hello, Mr. Anderson? So Aaron, I know, you had been working at Whole Foods for a good while, right?
Correct.
How long did you work there?
Almost 3 years, I believe.
Yeah. And
I wasn't counting, but...
Was that... I think you, the restaurant side of things, or?
No, I was actually, they call it a porter, but I was a janitor.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, as the time came, I ended up wearing many, many hats.
Okay, so you're no longer doing that, right?
No.
And you kind of found yourself in a different ball field completely. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was looking for an out. I mean, at the very tail end of it, I was in receiving, and... kind of on my last leg there, looking for something to do. I mean, I don't have a degree, and I went into real estate, so found a good company to work for, Wedgwood.
Okay, yeah.
We revitalize communities and flip houses, and I'm about 3 years into that, well in depth.
And how old are you?
25.
25. So 25 in the real estate game. We've talked about a couple different podcasts that you listen to on a regular basis. And since this is the Personal Growth Podcast, like, have you always listened to podcasts to try to feed your mind, or was that something that you started doing after you got into real estate, or like what? How? I
mean, I started out with podcasts about I want to say 4 years ago, but it wasn't anything real estate involved, or like I listened to Gary Vee, like Tony Robbins, things like that. But it was mainly just like crime scene stuff.
Huh.
Yeah, like investigated murders, like unsolved murders and things like that.
Huh.
Like Up and Vanished. It's a great one.
Up and Vanished.
Just check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. So stumbling upon podcasts early on was just about, was it entertainment purposes only?
Yeah. Kill some time if you're on a road trip. Great way to pass time. For me, I'm in the car like for about 6 hours out of the day.
Okay, yeah.
In and out, so it's good. It's better than music.
Because there's like a lot of different information you can like absorb through podcasts.
Content.
What's your favorite podcast right now?
Oh man, favorite podcast right now, probably Real Estate Disruptors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you missed an opportunity to say that it was the Personal Growth Podcast. That was your favorite podcast, but that's all right. That's just splitting hairs. We don't have to. It's fine, Aaron. It's fine.
It's in my top 5.
Nice.
I maybe listened to 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Nice.
Why real estate? Like what drew you to that?
I mean, I've always had a niche for like interior design. I like business. I like sales. I mean, I'm looking for a job with a little bit more freedom, rather than be sitting behind a desk in the corner of a store, always having to do something, always someone calling you in every which way direction. I was kind of fed up with dealing with trash, maintenance, things like that. So, I don't know. I just kind of put my name out there, applied to quite a few jobs in the same field, and finally got an interview. And
so all of those job applications they were filling out or sending out were all in real estate at that time? Yeah,
just about. There were many different. I mean, I looked at like title agencies too. Like, there's many different places to work in the whole umbrella of real estate. You can go work with title. You can go work with agents. You can be a listing agent. You can be coordinator, things like that. So I just kind of started up doing odd jobs basically for them, kind of running around, checking in on things, and then it grew from there. Now I'm a property manager.
Okay. So what
property manager, so like you're the one that, like, if somebody's having an issue with their garbage disposal, they like come talk to you and you like get a guy to go or like
so we don't really deal with rentals. So we'll buy it and then I am the manager from start to finish of remodeling and then listing it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so hopefully the garbage disposal is working by then, or
Gotcha.
don't get any
Okay.
Yeah,
negative
or you're
feedback.
terrible on your job.
Yeah.
And do you ever get those people who come in and they're like, my husband's a beekeeper and I'm an Instagram influencer. Our budget is $750,000. Like, do you have any?
I see a lot of people like that trying to buy houses to flip. You know, they'll come in and they watch all these HGTV shows and think it's all that. It's crazy. They think they need to throw so much money at things in order to be profitable and, I don't know, be well known, but no.
So there's not a need to throw a lot of money at things to be profitable?
Oh, no. I mean, there is areas, but what I'm saying, basically, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
I was just asking, like if you get any of those people who are like, you know, my husband is a beekeeper, I'm an Instagram influencer, our budget is $750,000. Like, because, yeah, I don't know. You see people on these shows that, like, oh, my husband, you know, changes tires, and I'm a nanny by day, but they have all this money to spend on these houses.
Right.
It's like, where are you getting the income?
Did you say 750,000?
Yeah.
That sounds about right, though, coming from, like, California. You
The
know?
joke being that a beekeeper and an Instagram influencer shouldn't have that much money.
Right. Well, when you said it originally, like in my head, I translated that to be $750. I thought it was funny, and I thought you were being funny, because like, and then he started talking about people throwing money at stuff. And
I have
really
$36 and a half-eaten bag of Ruffles. What can you do for me, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at things from, like, the investor and selling side of the situation, not buying, but
Right.
I can totally see it coming from, you know, San Francisco, and they're living in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment and have a budget of $750,000
Yeah.
being a beekeeper. And
Yeah. Would you say like you're always buying low and selling on just like to make a little bit of a profit, or like big chunks of profit? Like what does that look like as an investment?
I mean, it just depends. I mean, deals are tight these days. An investor will go in hopes of, let's say the property is worth $275 and they buy it for,
Like that's what it's been appraised at.
oh, I mean, as is, there's the as is appraisal, but like purchasing value, you know,
Okay.
like after repair value, they'll go in, say it's worth $275, they get it for $240, and they need to put 20 into it. So right now they're, after all the taxes and stuff, that's maybe less than $10K. But if you're not a realtor, you're listing that by owner. I mean, if you list it with the realtor, that's a 6 to 8% commission off of $275. You're maybe in the negative. You might be losing money.
So as the property manager for the property start to finish, are you like, does that mean that like you also are like a sales rep for that property itself, or?
No, see, I don't have my real estate license, so I'm not the listing agent.
Okay.
I don't do any of the marketing, things like that. Those areas are covered. I just do the management side of things, the budgeting, you know.
So they say let's say you buy that house for $240, you're selling it for $275, and you have set the budget for $20,000, and then you're making sure that $20,000 is being allocated into the areas that it needs to be spent.
Right.
Okay. And so you have like a set construction team that you go to that takes care of certain things and subcontracts,
Right.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have some really good contractors. I mean, I feel you could subcontract it out here and there, but it's nice to find one guy to do it all.
Mm.
That way you don't really have to make multiple calls, multiple bids.
Right.
know?
Okay. Huh. Random thought. Why did you want to get on the podcast?
Why not?
Well, I mean,
Ooh.
I'm asking the
Flipped
question though. Like,
Flipped it on
like
you.
I
Much
think
like a
that being on
house.
podcasts is cool. Obviously, I mean, I'm a co-host of a podcast. I enjoy doing this. I really enjoy hearing the perspectives that are different than my own and a knowledge that I don't have. Like I mean, I knew that you're in that game, but I didn't know that like you did the things that you do. Like, so I'm trying to understand more about what you're doing, just because, first of all, like, that's how we get to connect with people, is to ask questions and learn more about them and that kind of thing. And being on podcasts, like when I've been guests on other podcasts, it's because partially I want other people to know me more, get my name out there, and it may be something of being self-absorbed, but I don't think so. I think it's more so we all have a voice, and why not use platforms that reach more people than our current situation does?
Right.
And so for you, is this, I'm trying to figure out how to like best pull information from you.
Yeah, I'm not looking. Are you asking like for self-promotion wise? No, I don't really have anything to self-promote.
I'm definitely gonna.
I like to get to know you guys and come on here, and I've listened to quite a few different episodes that you guys have recorded. I think there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good content.
Thanks.
Personal growth wise, comedy wise, random conversation wise.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of random conversations for sure.
Yeah.
I don't really know why, but I've been feeling a little bit more lately about, like, we've had some really good flow in conversations on a lot of the podcasts that we've had lately, and I feel like I'm having a hard time finding a flow in conversation right now. So I'm just trying to like figure out what I need to do to make that flow more natural and less forced, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Do we want to maybe grab something out of the topic garden?
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh, I have. Yeah. Will you grab the topic card?
got it.
I do have a question. This is something that I haven't even talked to you about yet, Eric, but I think this is something that I'd really like to start implementing into all of the future podcasts, is asking our guests some advice that you would give yourself 10 years ago.
Don't get married.
10 years ago.
That's what I would have
man.
told myself.
Write your ideas down and take action and pursue them, because I've seen so many great ideas from both myself and other people that just get taken by someone else and started, you know.
Do you think taken, or do you think
Same
they
ideas.
also
you
had?
know?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, great,
Okay.
great minds think alike. I mean, it's just a matter of time before it starts. Crazy.
Yeah, it's something Scott and I kind of talk about. The biggest lie that we ever tell ourselves is that we don't need to write that down.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So, is there any kinds of ideas that you can think of that you had 10 years ago right now?
Oh, I can't even remember what I ate for dinner yesterday.
Okay.
I
Fair.
wish I could remember them.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so we have a topic garden. Whenever we've had other guests and other co-hosts of different podcasts that are recorded here, we ask them to write down topic ideas and throw them into the topic garden. And then we pull a seed from that topic garden, and hopefully that seed will grow into a good conversation. That's kind of the idea of the topic garden, just so you're aware. Okay, so from the topic garden, we've pulled a single sheet of paper, and it said relationships and meditation. And the gentleman that had wrote these topics should have torn the pieces apart, but I think that we're going to go ahead and just roll with it. Relationships and meditation.
Sure.
So we're not like tied down to one thought process. Because I know for me personally, meditations are a really big deal. And in relationships, if I'm not meditating on a regular basis, my relationships suffer. I think that if I can imagine who wrote this, he probably was talking about romantic relationships, but it doesn't have to be tied down to that either. Like, I mean, I got relationships with you, Eric, you, Aaron, my mother, my sister, my roommates, my employers, you know, like these. There's a lot of different types of relationships that we could be talking about here. But let's talk about your relationship just a little bit, Aaron. You've been seeing the same gal for quite a long time, right?
Yes.
How long have you and her been dating?
I say 15 years. She says 13, but who's really counting? I mean,
Jesus.
I mean,
Yeah.
15
big
and
chunk
you're
of
how
time.
old?
25.
So you started dating this person when you were 10.
Let's see. See, I lose track of time, so this is why it's probably
Was this
realistically
like
13 years.
Was this like an arranged like British situation where like you were born and they're like, the betrothed?
No,
He will be with her, and she will be with him, and then our kingdoms will prosper. Is that the kind of thing that
I wish it was that
happened there?
that way. No, I mean we went to school together as young kids. I mean,
And you're the same age?